Is water wet?
Feels pretty wet. To find out, I've packed some supplies, quickly rattled out a chemistry degree, and I've chartered this 81-year-old four-masted tall ship from Portugal to take us to the very home of water, the middle of the ocean. Days passed, nothing but blue, until finally, water! Some science. There are two good ways of defining wetness. Both of them mean that water isn't wet. 1. Wet things can be dried. Water cannot be dried. If you try to dry it, it won't be water anymore. It'll be nothing. Have you heard that riddle before? What gets wetter as it dries? I like that one. And 2, this is the real explanation. All liquids are sticky. They stick to other things. That's called adhesion. Think about glue. Its other name is adhesive. This means that they stick to the inside of containers, and they also stick to things like your finger. They also stick to themselves. That's called cohesion. Think about a cohesive group of people, all mates. That's why water stays in droplets, especially when it's on the surface of something like a non-stick frying pan. Technically, in science, only a solid surface can be wet. Wetness is about how a liquid sits on a solid surface. Surfaces are wet if, when a liquid is on them, the liquid sticks more to the surface than it sticks to itself. There's more adhesion going on than cohesion. Think about water on wood. It gets right in there. Non-stick surfaces are actually really dry, even with water on them, because the water would much rather stick to itself than to the surface. Cohesion is going on more than adhesion. This is why it's also really easy to shake the water off. The whole reason microplastics are so bad is because they're very dry surfaces in the ocean. Water hates sticking to them, so pollutants stick to them instead, concentrating all over the surface before plankton, fish and filter feeders as big as whales eat them in their billions, absorbing all of the pollutants before passing the plastic back out again to pick up pollutants all over again. Because water isn't a solid, technically it can never be wet. Ice can be wet. That's nice for ice. Though I reckon still a lot of people are probably quite dissatisfied with this answer, so here's a glass of water from the ocean. Tastes pretty wet to me. Some people will like the idea that water is wet. Language is used to represent what we mean, and as long as people understand what we're saying, then I guess that's alright. People say dice when technically they should say die, and nobody cares. The literally figuratively battle is lost. There are still people fighting the good there fight, but brought versus took is over. People say weight when they should really say mass, and people say calories when they really mean kilocalories. To be honest, I really don't mind whether people think water is wet or not. I'm just happy to have spent the entire annual budget on chartering this boat. Also, tiny bit of bonus science, adding a bit of soap, a surfactant, to water allows it to make surfaces a lot wetter, which is why it's essential to make a water slide more slidey. Check out my episode on how life began to find out more about surfactants. Thanks for watching, spread the knowledge. You can follow me on Instagram @MatthewShribman and deliciously subscribe for more.